The Partnership for Excellence West London Museum project has been a year-long Arts Award project involving different museums and galleries from West London. This project was born out of lots of conversations with different museums in the area who collectively identified a need for different ways to engage young people in their museums.
Arts Council thought this was a very important project to support because we have a goal around seeking that every young person and child in this country has an opportunity to experience the richness of the arts and culture. And one of the mechanisms that we have for that is Arts Award, which is a recognised scheme which gives young people a qualification.
You guys are really special. You've been chosen to be part of an Arts Award project that's rolling out across West London at the moment. So, you ready to get started?
The Grey Court School project involved 19 students, it involved the Museum of Richmond, it involved Kingston Museum and it involved ourselves, Orleans House Gallery. The students got to visit all of the different venues and be inspired, research and really kind of get a feeling of what the museums were about, what the exhibitions and the collections were about.
I enjoyed drawing my own interpretation of Martin Ware's pottery.
My favourite part of today was looking at the local artwork and seeing all the different artists that have originated from our local area.
In Richmond, I've learnt about objects and what stories they can tell me.
I'd like to do more of my own work and try and find a bit of my own inspiration from Richmond and Kingston.
The project that we ran here at Fulham Palace was with two 13-year-olds from local schools and they were working towards their Bronze Arts Award. The project was linked to our sculpture exhibition that was happening in the gardens at the time with Surrey Sculpture Society, and so they worked with artists from that group to learn the techniques of sculpture and then to produce their own artworks, which are currently being exhibited in our winter exhibition.
At Gunnersbury Park Museum's Arts Award project, there were 14 young people aged 14 to 21 who took part in the Bronze project. Well, they explored the costume collections and that led them to create some of their own costumes. They also explored the natural landscape and they made lots of Andy Goldsworthy-inspired artwork using natural materials found in the park. They created narrative painting and they also created their own film and other costumes and props. I think in terms of what I learned from working with the young people was that it's important to trust them and to let them lead the project because actually they have fantastic ideas of their own.
Hello, my name is Hannah and I'm here to find out about water pumping steam engines.
So we had a group of 12 young people between the ages of 7 and 14 and they were working on two parallel projects. So one half of the group were working on creating a film and the other half were working on a project that focused on texture. It was really valuable for us as an education team at the museum because we've never run anything of this kind before. So we learned how to deliver Arts Award in the first place and also how to work as a team with creative practitioners and finally really how to work with young children without any other parents or teachers there.
Why is it so important to the running of a steam engine?
I think the young people really valued the fact they were able to be at the London Museum of Water and Steam. It made it a richer experience because not only were they engaging with hands-on work with creative practitioners, they were surrounded by amazing 19th century steam engines. They were able to go outside and look at our enormous standpipe tower, so there's a question of scale and a kind of stepping back in time as well.
Today we have been running a workshop, a mask making workshop, and it's been co-led by the young people who are currently doing their Silver and Bronze Arts Award.
What our objective is today is to illustrate and show 3 different types of masks and how they're made.
For my Silver Arts Awards, I come to Orleans House Gallery every Tuesday and we meet up with the Youth Art Forum.
The young people have engaged with the gallery in a number of ways, which is really exciting.
Well, I've learned from Orleans Gallery how to research an artist and I've learned how to look at a piece of work and then transfer it into my own work and use it as inspiration.
I definitely think this project's been a success because before I came here I wasn't very enthusiastic in art, but since I've come here I'm unstoppable when I get the chance to do any drawing.
I thought it was really well run. Thank you. Carry on the good work.
Consultation between all the different museums was really important throughout the project. We had meetings before any of the pilot projects began, during and after.
We met in Fulham Palace for one of our last sharing events. All of the museums involved were present, so that was London Museum of Water and Steam, Gunnersbury Park Museum, Fulham Palace, ourselves, Orleans House Gallery, the Museum of Richmond, Wandsworth Museum, British Postal Museum and Archive, and Strawberry Hill House. We also had our evaluator present. So that meeting was a real opportunity to share what had happened throughout our projects, the challenges, the best bits of the project, and also how we're going to move forward as an organisation. As we've started as a partnership, we wanted to really end the project as a partnership and to put kind of all our heads together and come up with the most different examples of how Arts Award can be used. All of the museums were really keen for participants to celebrate their achievements and to involve the young people in organising these events. The young people chose to create a sculpture around an object from their home, and it was really important that that object had a story linked to it.
I enjoyed making my sculpture and I enjoyed doing the practical work. I thought it was really interesting learning the different skills.
The experience that we've had so far has been really educational, quite fun to do.
This Arts Award has inspired me to take art GCSE because it's a really fun subject.
This evening we are having a big celebration event. It's a chance for the children to reflect on the last 20 weeks and what they've been working on for their Explore Arts Award. It's a chance for them to invite their families, their friends, their teachers to come along and see their sketchbooks and see all the art that they've produced.
I enjoyed making the Battersea shields because it had lots of creativity and I made the grappling hook on mine.
We've been working at the Wandsworth Museum, looking at our local area, looking at our local history, studying the Huguenots, doing lots of lino printing. We've been making felt work.
I've learned that the Wandsworth Museum is fun and loads of children can come in and do loads of arts and crafts.
The students worked with a project poet called Tailor to produce individual poems inspired by the First World War stories and objects in the British Postal Museum and Archive collections.
I feel really good. I just performed in front of a lot of people.
I have achieved so much. Like, I've learned more about the World War, and not only the stuff that you learn in primary school.
To see a young person go from barely able to write, barely able to vocalise in class, to go in on stage at the Roundhouse Theatre in London, it is extremely rewarding.
Tonight is the culmination of 12 weeks of work by the students. They've been exploring the house and they've created 3 projects.
I really enjoyed it. My favourite bit was making the clay because you could mix it up and then cut it out into whatever shape you wanted.
We certainly would run it again. I think the children have really enjoyed it. The parents have been incredibly positive about it. I think it's a sustainable thing now we've started, definitely.
At the heart of this project has obviously been the young people. For them, they've had an incredible journey. For lots of them, they'd never visited their local museums or organisations. They'd never heard of Arts Award. So they were kind of venturing a journey into the unknown.
The project exceeded expectations. There was a target around 80 young people taking part, and in the end 107 young people took part, achieving Explorer, Bronze and Silver award levels.
One of the huge successes of the project has been able to kind of strengthen our relationship between the 8 different museums. Through this, we decided to apply for another pot of funding from the Arts Council, which is a strategic partnership project involving volunteering. We hope to inspire other museums, schools and local community centres, everybody really, to use Arts Award to engage young people in their organisations.